Time for probably what is like my 10th showcase of Tigra being ridiculous in a specific Battlegrounds meta, and sure enough, she's just as good for this one, where you can completely neutralize the prowess, and it is a total joke as far as the node goes. In both the victory track meta and the circuit meta, her neutralize is completely ridiculous, and we're just gonna kill stuff extremely quickly. Right there, the prowess just barely squeaked out of the neutralize, but it's not even that big a deal, because we don't have to block a hit if we don't want to. We can just do Tigra cycles, and this Hercules is very dead as soon as we throw that SP1. Yeah, no immortality for him. So, 33 second, I think that might have been a rank 5 Hercules. It's pretty good, And then, next up we have this, it's probably a rank 5 Valk, with my rank 4 Tigra, and, this guy thinks that he is going to win this round, and he nearly does, but I am quick enough with Tigra to where I was able to outpace it. And granted, I did get really good AI in this fight to let Tigra be as fast as she was, but anyway, it was enough to win the round. And you're gonna see this SP2 hits pretty hard, and we're getting close to our second SP2 just after it. So if we go for a heavy right there, she dashes in, and it's fun. I don't really know. Anyway, I'm actually going to throw my SP2 early like an idiot because of nerves, so that's great. But luckily, Unblockable is overpowered, and we could just finish the fight right there, and sure enough, it was enough to win the round, just barely, but it was, so that's great. Next up, classic Tigra matchup for me, Tigra versus Nimrod. We just phase the SP1 or the SP2 if we feel like it, and the cowardice is a little bit annoying, the power drain is a little bit annoying, but usually with Tigra the amount of power gain you're getting already isn't enough to hinder her from reaching SP2s very often, and it's very fun. So we're going to throw the SP2 with the power drain on this, which is better than the cowardice because we do want as much SP2 damage as possible. And we miss his SP2, which I'm not even sure if I've ever missed his SP2 before. Usually I always bait SP1s, so I don't have to go to that. But luckily I guessed the spacing correctly, and it was just fine. Next up, the new biggest bad in the defender department, we have Kindred. And this guy is super easy with Tigra. You literally just phase the second hit of the SP1. Second or third hit. I'm not entirely sure how many hits the first little jump he does with the centipedes is. Either way, it doesn't matter. You're going to see that it's just really super easy and barely an inconvenience. We're going to knock him down to make him more likely to throw that special, do 2 light attacks, go into the heavy, and it is just very fun. We are a little bit scared by, what is it? It's stand your ground sometimes, but it's still 3 hits in the heavy attack, so the likeliness of all 3 of them getting resisted isn't that high. And I am going to hold my special attacks for when the root happens, and then we throw the SP3 right here, which it is a little bit of a time waster because the SP3 animation obviously does take a bit of time, but it saves us a lot of health because we saved our power to immediately break out of the special attack, and we finished 97% health. Lost the round, but I mean, what are you going to do when a Sunspot finishes a fight full yellow bar in 34 seconds? I'm not mad about that matchup at all. I'm happy with how Tigra performed. Another fun matchup for Tigra is Man-Thing. Tigra's neutralize prevents us from getting the Puzzle buff on us, meaning that we can't be poisoned or armor broken, so that's fine and dandy. We can easily miss his SP1 just by light attack, heavy attack, and it is a really fun time. We throw the SP2 with 9 ruptures, it does a crap ton of damage, and then we just go back into the cycle by baiting his other SP1, light attack, heavy into another SP2, and that Man-Thing is just wiped off the face of the planet. And that is a very fun interaction. 41 seconds, Man-Thing. Okay, next up is Hulkling. Hulkling obviously neutralizes the easiest way to counter him, and Tigra is no exception. We can just use her here to miss the SP1 and occasionally counter his heavy attack, and we get our openings really easily. I'm not entirely sure what happened with my opponent where they weren't locking in immediately, but the fight's just about to start, and we're going to probably open with a parry, if I remember doing this fight, which will take a bit of block damage because of his Pierce, but he's not going to get Pierce again if we keep our Neutralize active. I'm going to SP1 to get him in the corner, and then we're going to miss his SP1 final hit, and we took that one block hit, which kind of sucked, but it's not that big a deal. We got a little lucky. They didn't try to counter that, but he didn't, so we're fine. I misspaced that SP1, so I did an emergency heavy attack, which, emergency SP1, which, it didn't really mess anything up, so we're fine. We're almost at our SP2 now, just going to get one more heavy attack. We only throw it with 3 ruptures, but we're getting more from neutralizing buffs, and it is, sure enough, plenty to kill him. So, yeah, that's great. Next up, we have Doom, and Doom, always a hard defender, no matter who you use, in my opinion, just because of his block penetration, just because of his aura, just because of his SP2 and SP1 both being semi-difficult attacks. But with Tigra, what we're just going to do is try to push him to SP2. We take a little bit of block damage there, but it's okay. We push him to SP2, dash back, dash in, heavy attack. Really simple rhythm if you can practice it. Resist happened there, but it's okay. We're just going to get our SP2 right here. And then after this SP2, we are going to Striker Intercept just to make sure that he does not throw the SP1. And we push him back to another SP2, which we can easily miss. He goes for it, dash back, dash in, heavy attack. And just like that, we have another SP2. Is it going to be enough to kill him? Yes, it will. And that is one dead Doom. Next up, another Doom, but this time from the Circuit meta. Obviously, the Circuit meta is a lot more difficult because we can't parry half the time, and we also have to deal with the fact that if he gets prowess, he's going to be taking reduced damage, so we just won't let him gain prowess. Simple enough. And not parry. That's also simple enough. Because with Tigra, just miss his special attacks, get your openings. It's fun, it's fine and dandy. Just got my parry right at the perfect timing. I thought I got stunned, if I'm being entirely honest, but I just barely missed the stun window, so that was kind of lucky, or you could say it was perfectly timed. I don't know. Either way, we're going to get to our SP2 with 9 ruptures, and then go for the Striker Intercept immediately after, prevent him from throwing that SP1, and push him to another SP2, and dash back, dash in, heavy attack, and another SP2 will do the job. Easy game, easy life for this Doom, and that was very fun. So, next up, we have MCoC, and MCoC is a little bit tricky. He's a very tanky boy. He has long special attacks, so our senses have risk of falling off if he doesn't cooperate immediately. We can easily counter the SP1, but it is a little bit annoying to sometimes get our senses to fall off, but it's fine. MD is going to be a little bit annoying here, pushing him to more special attacks, but we also can miss the SP2 if we need to. It's not ideal because it is a little tricky to get the timing on when you're going to miss that SP2, but it's perfectly fine usually if you know what you're doing. Like right now, I'm sensing the SP2, and I got the timing perfect, so we missed it all, took no damage from it, which is always fun to take no damage from a MCoC SP2, And then we're going to go for an SP1, or maybe not. Are we going for SP1? Yes, we are, and yeah, very dead MCoC. MCoC is really tricky. I definitely have some MCoC fights that did not go nearly as well as that one did, but that one luckily did go well, and I got it on recording, which is cool. Last up is iDoom. He's an easy heavy counter. He's an easy SP2 counter as well. We don't want to bait the SP1 just like we would with regular Doom just because of aura messing up our heavy attacks. So we're gonna just do our best to only bait SP2s and heavy counters. And we're gonna get that SP2 off with 9 ruptures again. Does a very nice amount of damage. And that was we got our little 10% miss, which was really lucky. But even if it hit our block, it wouldn't have done too much damage and we would have just missed the next hit. So 36-second Doom fight, love to see it. And yeah, that's my Tigra fights from this season. Hope you enjoyed the video, and hope you enjoy playing Tigra as much as I do. Thanks for watching.